I don't know if I was recording. Listen, that right there is 350. Cylinder bores have been cleaned out. Yeah, and the lifter bores have been cleaned out. That's the casting number. How do you know it's a 350? Well, it says 5.7. There's the heads. There are closed chamber heads. How do you know that? Well, see that block off right there? So, it's going to have a little bit more compression. Rods, pistons. I have a new oil pump in it. It's got a windage tray. There's a turbo in a bag. Not sure that's what I'm going to talk about today. So, let's look at some other parts. Dual timing chain. So, being said, yeah, garage is kind of a mess. I don't know that this is what I'm supposed to do, but this is what's kind of been on my spirit. So, we'll see. So, forgiveness. So, I think I'm going to start a new thing called Garage Church. I think that's what I'm going to call it. Garage Church. Maybe advice. I know there's a lot of people that struggle with suicide and mental illness, other things, a lot of things that I've struggled with myself. Got a lot of friends from different walks of life, military friends that I know that went to the military. I never served in the military. My brother is still active duty. My grandfather was Navy. Got a lot of friends. My stepdad was Air Force. Got a lot of friends and family that served. Went through a lot of things. Horrible things. Some of them horrible things on other countries and other countries on mission. Some horrible things here. They suffered in the United States. Some came back as far as Vietnam and stuff like that and got spit on and beat and took things from other people that shouldn't have been done. Some things through other countries. I got a friend who was a Marine, had to endure a lot of things. One of the stories he shared with me was one time when he had to run some little kids over, literally run them over. He was with his platoon and they were driving through this one spot, and some kids with backpacks went running up towards their caravan, and he didn't know if they had IEDs on them or explosives or other things like that. And of course, they were warned to get out of the way, and his orders were to keep going and to run the kids over. And he shared with me how hard that was for him to run those kids over, even though he knew that they could have explosive devices on them and that they were probably sent by Hamas or by other terrorist groups, Taliban and other terrorist groups and other people that were trying to kill the Americans that were in Afghanistan at the time. And that's something that still haunts him when he sleeps. And that's what we're going to talk about today. There's many other friends and other stories that I'll share about. Today we're going to talk about forgiveness. Why am I taking something from motors to forgiveness and sharing that story? I think there's a lot of guys and people in general that stuff down and have a hard time talking to people about stuff. And I figured maybe if I talk about it, then maybe they'll talk about it to themselves, even if they don't talk about it to other people. So today I'm going to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness from God. This book is called Armed and Dangerous. It's got quotes from scripture, things that have helped me in my life. Forgiveness from God. Blessed is those whose transgressions are forgiven, whose sins are covered. Blessed is the man whose sin the Lord does not count against him, and in whose spirit is no deceit. Now, I've done a lot of things in my life that I regret. I've dealt with a lot of unforgiveness and forgiveness for other people. But especially towards myself, it's been harder for me to forgive me than it has other people. And I think some people struggle with the same things. I think sometimes it's easier to forgive other people than it is yourself. And I think it's reversed for some other people. I think it's easier for people to forget and forgive themselves and hold other people accountable for things that may not be their fault, and place the blame in other spots when we should take it ourselves. And then people, including myself, that have held the blame for other things that we shouldn't have held for, and we persecute ourselves for too long. Like my friend in Afghanistan that had to go do those horrible things in war. War is horrible. Is it a necessary evil? I guess that's debatable, but if somebody comes to try to kill your family or your people in your country and you go to fight for freedom, even if that's not what really happens in war, you're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to follow the orders as best as you know how to defend the people of your land and even the people of that land for freedom and for love. If politicians and crooked people get involved for other reasons, well, that's on them. In the end, we'll all be judged. But I hope and I pray that he works on that forgiveness for him, because he did the best thing he could in that split second decision, and he did what he was commanded and told to do. Is that hard? Yeah, it is. And he's not the only one that shared a lot of stories with me. I think at least once a week I'll go over this and share some stories with some friends and some acquaintances and people that I've just known throughout my life. I've known people all over different countries, different walks of life, from, let's just say, the madness I used to live. I've met a lot of other people. Thank God I don't live in that madness and that same world anymore. Same planet, different world. That's a whole nother subject. So anyway, I want to encourage you to work on forgiveness for you and for other people in your life, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because that forgiveness can help you and will help you if you forgive yourself and forgive those other people and start moving on. I'm still going to build motors. I'm still going to build motorcycles, cars, and trucks, and all those other things. I just feel like it's important for me, for one, to share a little bit about forgiveness and give people a platform that usually wouldn't go to church or go to a therapist or even talk to people about the horrible things that go on in their minds and the horrible things they've had to endure in life as children, as teens, and as adults. In this crazy world we live in, it seems like people stuff a lot of stuff down and people don't talk about stuff because it's not socially correct or whatever the world says is good or bad. But I know if you don't deal with forgiveness for yourself and for others, that it can create a lot of bad things in your life and other people's lives and cause more harm than good. What is that saying? That hurt people hurt people? Well, unless we deal with that hurt and deal with that unforgiveness or forgiveness, then hurt people are going to keep hurting people. And we want to stop that as much as possible in our own lives and other people's lives. So, that being said, we will build this motor. I got a cam and some other things coming and some other stuff. I'm on a budget. I don't have no sponsors or no other things like that. But it's not even about that. For me, it's just about a platform to share some stuff that I enjoy doing that maybe other people enjoy doing. But also to use this platform for good and try to help other people help people, including themselves and others. So that's it for now. All right, appreciate y'all. Forgiveness. Peace.